You're Thinking About Donuts by me, Michael Rosen. Chapter 8. Have you got the donuts with you? Said the plastic skeleton. No, said Frank. You had the bag, didn't you, boy? Said the plastic skeleton. I didn't have a bag, said Frank. Think, boy. I am, said Frank. Well, you must try, said the plastic skeleton. Try what? Said Frank. Try harder, said the plastic skeleton. OK, said Frank, though he had no idea what he was trying harder to do. By now, they had arrived in the science box on the way to the glass house. Elvis Presley was there to meet them. Hello, he said. Nice to see you. We're going to have a lovely time. It's going to be really super, so come along, join in, make it a lovely day for the family. I ain't nothing but a hound dog. Frank stared at him. He thought Elvis was American, but this Elvis was talking in a very polite English voice, even when he said, I ain't nothing but a hound dog. Then, just as he was trying to work this out, Marilyn Monroe popped her head round the edge of a pillar, and she spoke the same way. Hello, come on in. It's going to be really super. You're going to find out all about how things work. And how things don't work, said Elvis. You're in the brand new science box. Yes, lots of fun for all the family, said Elvis. This is a fly, said Marilyn Monroe, and a great big fly about as big as a piano flew down from the ceiling. Hi there, said the giant fly in a very slow, deep, bored voice. I'm a fly. You know, said Elvis, getting excited, flies have hairs all over them. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, said the giant fly in his slow, bored voice. I've got really interesting hairs. When he eats, said Marilyn, he puts a little tube down onto the food. Out comes some stuff like the spit in your mouth. And then, wait for it, said Elvis, this is really interesting. He draws it up the tube. Yeah, said the giant fly, really interesting. First I spit, then I suck. Cool. What do you think, Henry? Said Elvis to Frank. My name's Frank, said Frank. You think it's jolly interesting. That's what you think, said Marilyn. Don't you, Henry? I don't know, said Frank. Got any biscuits? Said the giant fly. Keep your mouth shut, fly, said Elvis out the corner of his mouth. I haven't got a mouth, said the giant fly. I've got a proboscis. Then keep your proboscis shut, said Elvis. Now, Henry, so you want to see the embryo? Yes, you do want to see the embryo, said Marilyn. I don't know what an embryo is, said Frank. It's a baby when it's still inside its mummy's tummy. You were once an embryo, Henry. I don't want to see an embryo, said Frank. I want to see my mum. That's just what embryo thinks, said Elvis. Cooey! MB! And a big plastic embryo waddled out of a dark corner. He's got fingernails, Henry, said Elvis in a wild, excited voice. My name's Frank, said Frank. He's got fingernails. Whoopee! I ain't nothing but a hound dog. He's got fingernails, yes, said Marilyn. Isn't that interesting? I don't know, said Frank. How do we get to the glass house? I'm a bit worried about my mum. You can't go yet, Henry, said Elvis. This is fun for all the family. He grabbed hold of Frank's arm rather hard. I haven't told you about embryo's toenails yet, said Marilyn, and she grabbed Frank's other arm. Are you having a good time, Henry? No, said Frank. Let's go. No, you're here to have a good time, said Elvis. But I'm not having a good time, said Frank. Listen here, said Elvis. We know the answers to all the questions in the world. Where's my mum? Said Frank. We know the answers to all the questions in the world except that one. Marilyn Monroe said, We know everything. Yes, said Elvis, and you'd better believe it, Sonny. Why are you twisting my arm? Said Frank. That's not a real question, Marilyn said, so we don't have to answer it. Well, what is it then, if it's not a real question? Said Frank. That's not a real question either, and we're not answering it. That's 3 questions you haven't answered, said Frank. Listen, said Elvis, never mind that. Just remember that we know the answers to all the questions in the world. Believe it, okay? Believe it. Tell them to let go of me, Frank said to the plastic skeleton. I can't, said the plastic skeleton. No one takes any notice of me up here. I'm part of the old museum. This is the new museum. Let go, said Frank. No, said Elvis. You've got to stay here and listen to us. So Frank twisted one way and then the other, and he broke his arm loose from Elvis, but Marilyn still had hold of him. Help me, said Frank to the plastic skeleton. I can't, said the plastic skeleton. I'm from downstairs. Come and have some more fun, Henry, said Marilyn. No, said Frank, and bit her arm. She let go. Frank got free and ran. The plastic skeleton joined him. They just heard the giant fly talking as they were going. Well, it was saying in that slow, bored voice. That didn't look like they thought you two were a bundle of laughs. I'll tie your proboscis up if you don't keep quiet, said Elvis. Oh, yeah, said the giant fly. Try explaining a proboscis with a knot in it as part of your fun for all the family. Frank heard Elvis trying to tie up the giant fly's proboscis as they hurried round the corner into the glass house. I hope you enjoyed your thinking about donuts. If you want to know more about all the new stories and poems I put up here on Kids Poems and Stories with Michael Rosen, then why not follow the link and subscribe to the channel.